'Tis I, the captain of Team Cozy, your boy Jay, back, week 12, the warm-up, baby. How you feeling? Because I know how I'm feeling. Oh my goodness. Another Sunday, 12:30, give or take a minute, Eastern time. This is the warm-up. I appreciate you guys meeting me here. I want to do something a little different with the music this week. This is week 12, right? So I was wondering, man, what did music sound like 12 years ago? So this is a playlist curated by yours truly, 2008. Let's go hard. Plenty of things to talk about. Happy belated Thanksgiving to you and yours. I hope everybody's come out of their food coma. Who got leftovers, though? Who got? That is hot sauce on your man's show. What up? Matthew, shout out. Thanks for coming through. Chef Curry with the cuts. Oh, my brother. What's good, bro? Rev, what up? Thanks for coming through. Man, listen. I hope everybody wasn't really traveling. This is not the year for that. However, man, I miss going to this relative, getting the plate with the foil on it. If you ain't got the foil because it got used up from everybody else, just put the napkin over top and each corner tuck. Stack the plates, bro. I miss those days. King Alcide, appreciate you. Man, Thanksgiving was good for me as far as food consumption. A little rough for a couple teams out there. The traditional Thanksgiving teams, the Lions, the Cowboys. Oh my. Oh my. Week 12, round 12, episode 12. You know how we do. This is the warm-up. I am your boy Jay. You can find me individually at j.jpg. And follow us here at Designated Report, doing what we do. Skull. Skull. Maybe. Houston won in Detroit, 41-25. It felt closer, but maybe because I wasn't paying attention, I was on my pumpkin pie. Will Fuller went off. 6 catches, 171 and 2 touchdowns. The most impressive part of all of that is that he did it on my bench for my fantasy team. Impressed. Depressed. The Lions fired head coach Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn. Finally, right? Much respect to fans of the Lions who, in response to that, donated to Deshaun Watson's charity. Thank you, Deshaun Watson, for getting our head coach and our general manager cleared out of there. But Bob Quinn got Bob Quinn fired. Matt Pat got Matt Pat fired, for real. And it is late. But, I mean, they got fired before Adam Gase, so that's something. Also, is the ownership in Detroit watching the games? Are they watching football? Or are they just like us, where it's like, I see the final score, it don't look that good, but I watch them on Thanksgiving. Oh, man, that's worse than I thought. We got to get rid of these guys. Were they watching any of the games? Because it wasn't pretty, man. And it was coaching. It was coaching. It was talent. So what's the next move for Detroit? The first move, get on the phone. Call Jim Caldwell, the previous coach. Not for a job, that's too unorthodox. You can't hire him back. It just doesn't work like that in the NFL. You call him up and you say, sorry. Jim, my fault. You did good things. 9 wins. We just wanted to do more with the Patriots assistant. That's their fault. But you got to call and say sorry to Jim Caldwell because it wasn't like they were 4 and something. It wasn't like they were dumpster fire. You got to do the right thing. It's a quick phone call. Text them. Something. Charlie Weiss, Romeo Crennel, Eric Mangini, Josh McDaniels, Bill O'Brien. You thought you were going to get the next one of those and win more than 9 games? Good luck to Brian Flores, by the way, and Joe Judge. But what are you telling me with that list? Remember this one? What are you telling me with that list, King LC? Oh, appreciate you. Merch on the way, by the way. I got warm-up merch on the way. Got money. Washington put up a 41 burger as well on America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Alex Smith threw for 149, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He's not your comeback player of the year. I apologize. Moving forward, Antonio Gibson ran for 115 and 3 scores, though. That's where that win came. And just the Cowboys being totally inept. Amari Cooper did his thing. Zeke was on the other side. He was like, feed me, feed me. Antonio Gibson for $1 and 3 scores? Let me answer that. With 32 yards of my own. Is Zeke washed? Don't be inflammatory. Think about it. Think about what he's done all season. Think about the pieces around him. Think about what he did last year. Is Zeke washed? I'll read some names off. Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, Nick Chubb, Christian McCaffrey. Those guys are better than Zeke right now. You know that. I know that. I can't put Saquon there because we're just assuming he would have had a great year. The way that we assume Zeke would not have a year like this. Zeke is not in the tier of the people I just named to you, right? Let's go to the next tier. Chris Carson, Ronald Jones, Kenyon Drake, Joe Mixon, Josh Jacobs, Kareem Hunt. Is Zeke better than any of those guys? Don't be a Cowboy hater. Don't use recency bias. You just seen one game. Think about the body of work in 2020. Zeke is not better than those guys. Is Zeke washed and air dried? I'll give you two rookies too. Clyde Edwards-Helaire and even James Robinson. And I'll make it simple too. Fantasy wise, you're going into the playoffs. Who do you want? Who do you want? This joint told me I got logged off. I hope I'm here with you. I want you here with me. This is the warm-up. I'm going to keep going. I hope you see me. If you can't see me, though, yell out, Marco. Here's what you do if you're Jerry Jones. You already overpaid Jalen Smith. You already overpaid him. What are you going to do about Dak? You want this much? You want this much? Extend some other guys. You need O-line. You got to trade Zeke. But here's how you do it. You don't just say you're gone. You don't just assassinate his character on television. This is what you do. I'll school you. You say he's a beast and he'll bounce back. You say he's been playing with like nicks and bruises and injuries, right? But he'll recover. Nothing major, but he's been banged up. You as Jerry Jones, you blame it on the offensive line. You got to throw somebody else under the bus. Because this is an asset you're trying to make attractive to other teams. Okay? You know, when Dak went down, Zeke was the leader of this team. Zeke was amazing. He stepped up and filled the void. When he spoke in the locker room, everybody listened. And he had zip in practice. He had burst. I don't understand in the games. It must be the offensive line. That's how you make Zeke look good enough to ship off. Maybe on draft night for an asset or something like that. And you do a draft night because you give Zeke plenty of time to post, you know, videos on Instagram of him working out with a shirt off and he lost this much weight and he's motivated. The captions are all inspirational. Little COVID update for you on a more serious note. Steelers running back James Conner has tested positive for COVID-19. Also testing positive was the QB coach of the Steelers. However, Big Ben was not deemed at high risk, which makes sense because at his age, Big Ben's probably not chilling with the quarterback coach. Y'all remember the story of Big Ben having the secret locker in the locker room? Google that. A guy, like a young guy, said it was just him and Ben in the locker room. And Ben's locker's in a corner. And he seen him and he started getting dressed whatever he turned. And Ben was not there anymore. Added to that story, somebody seen him pop out of this little like locker. When you go into Big Ben's locker, there's a secret door that leads to like a really small space where he just kind of chills. That's true. That's a true story. But I digress. What's this mean for James Conner, right? Yeah, he's not playing right now, but how does the coronavirus impact cancer survivors? He looks like he's in peak physical shape, visually, to us. But his immune system will never be as strong as it was before he got cancer, and he's more susceptible to catch a virus like this. So prayers up to James Conner, thinking about you and your family. Hope you bounce back. I mean, this is another heavyweight. And this dude's a champion. He beat cancer. He could beat this too. So we're just thinking about you, James Conner, and the whole Pittsburgh Steelers community. I got a terrible towel somewhere. I would have, you know what I'm saying? When you hear about that, it makes you appreciate life, right? But it also makes you a little upset about what you've heard about the Broncos quarterbacks even more. Y'all heard this story. This is the story. This is the story of the weekend. Backup Jeff Driscoll of the Broncos tested positive. The starter, Drew Lock, the other two backups, Brett Rippon and Blake Bortles, who's on the practice squad, I didn't know that. They spent considerable time around him, and the Broncos quarterbacks refused to wear masks. So they're all deemed at high risk, and the league said that none of them can play today. None of them. The Broncos have no quarterback. They have no traditional quarterback. My man Edwin Ramos said, put me in. Yo, what was killing me, though, was... we'll get to it. No, we'll get to it. I love this story. The entire quarterback room is at risk for spreading this thing. So, what's the rest of the team looking like? Did you test everybody? Or are you just saying this is the risk? How do you know? Like, how do you know? John Elway refused the forfeit, so they're going to play this game. I don't know. More on that in a second. But to the picks! To the picks! Tua time. We're pressing pause on Tua time. He's out with a thumb injury. They're playing the Jets, though. They're playing the Jets. Now, what I want to do is tell you that since this is the Jets' best chance at a win, they can do it. They can do this. Because if they don't, they play the Raiders. They go to Seattle. They go to the Rams. They got Cleveland. And they go to New England. You could tell me whatever you want about New England this year, but they're not losing that game. They're not winning any of those games. So this is their best shot. So I want to tell you they'll win it because this is their best shot. They've had, I don't know, better shots maybe. Ryan Fitzpatrick is not a slouch. He's going to come in. He's going to throw 2 touchdowns and a pick. And they're going to win this game too. So, Dolphins, I got you. I'm still there. Brian Flores, I'm still there. I'm still with you. I'm still with you. I got the Cardinals going to New England and getting that W because I got the Panthers at the Vikings, and I'll tell you why. I got the Panthers going to Minnesota, and I'll tell you why. I picked Minnesota at home last week against the Cowboys because the Cowboys stink. But I forgot that Minnesota kind of stinks too. They got pieces. They just aren't putting it together, just like Dallas. Just like a bunch of other teams. I hate to tell you that I think the Vikings to lose 2 in a row at home, but that's what I got. That's what I got. My brother, Chef Curry, I apologize to you. That's just what I got. I picked against my Bucks last week, and I was right. However, I just got to tell you what I think. I got the Browns winning at the 1-9 Jags. This is Mike Glennon's first start since 2017. He was drafted in 2013 by the Bucks. He bounced from Chicago to Arizona and Oakland since then. Does he have what it takes to snap Jacksonville's 9-game losing streak? No. Colts at the Titans. I think this is a toss-up. I think it's a toss-up. I like the Colts winning in overtime against the Packers last week. I like that. That shows a lot of grit. They won that game. The Packers did not lose that game. Marquez Valdes-Scantling did not lose that game. The Colts won that game. But then I remembered when I was doing my pre-show notes, the Titans won in overtime too last week against the Ravens. So this is going to be a good game. I got the Colts because they're at home. I like that. That's what I got. I also have the Giants winning at the Joe Burrow-less Bengals. Thinking about you, Joe. Thinking about you, Joe. Ryan Finley could not get the offense going when Joe Burrow got injured last week. He went 3 for 10, 30 yards, and a pick. He'll be better than that today, but the Giants' defense is better than solid. Better than solid. Can Joe Burrow still be Rookie of the Year? There's a guy named Justin Herbert I've been telling y'all about. There's a guy named Justin Herbert I've been telling y'all about. He's putting up the numbers. He's not putting up the W's. Let's see what the voters think. Let's see what you think. Who y'all got? Offensive Rookie of the Year. Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow if everything stopped today. If everything stopped today. Let me know. What terrible timing for Joe Burrow to get hurt too, right? Because this is a 9 to 12 month injury. And I'm thinking closer to 12. Because it was structural. There's a lot going on there. So if he comes back in 12 months, it's November of next season. So you got to find a quarterback to get you to November for this guy to show up. Do you tank next year? You're not winning anymore. I mean, what are you going to win the rest of the season? And then you go and get a lineman with your top pick. Is next year lost already as well? That's rough. I'm interested. I'm interested to see. I'm not rushing my man back. I'm just like, man, the timing stinks here. I got the Bills versus the Chargers. Austin Eckler is back from IR. Hurt his hammy week 4. It's been a long road back. He's been working hard. But the Bills are just too good. Raiders at the Falcons. At the Falcons. And you know what? I tried to tell y'all last week that Falcons offense looks scary, but isn't. Oh my gosh, I tried to tell you. And y'all tried to pick the Falcons. I tried to tell you. They got first rounders all up on the offensive line. They got Bama wide receivers. They got Todd Gurley. They got former MVP Matt Ryan. I tried to tell y'all. They just don't have it. It's just not working. Julio and Todd Gurley are out, by the way, today. So that scary offense, it's a wrap. The Niners are going to LA to play the Rams. The Rams, who are the class of the NFC all of a sudden, better than the Seahawks most talked about this past week, beat the Bucks, who can't play on prime time. Now the Rams are going to the Super Bowl all of a sudden. Jared Goff is amazing all of a sudden. That's just hate. The Saints are going to the Broncos. Who's going to be slinging it for the Broncos? Is it Von Elway? Y'all see what he posted up? Von Miller said, I got this. He said, I'm Von Elway. I got this. Jerry Jeudy said he wants to do it, but you know who the emergency quarterback is there? It's Royce Freeman, which is strange because he didn't play quarterback in high school, like my man Glenn Morning, who just checked in. I appreciate you, bro. He didn't play quarterback in college. He threw exactly one pass in college. Now, I'll tell you what, it was a halfback option, 26-yard touchdown to Marcus Mariota, but it's still one pass attempt in all of college. And that's who is at the top of your depth chart, supposedly right now. It makes me think that Denver's going to go a lot of Wildcat. But they also are talking about a guy named Kendall Hinton, who played wide receiver at Wake Forest. Dig deeper. Dual threat high school quarterback. Dual threat college quarterback at Wake Forest. Switched positions his senior year and turned into a 1,000-yard receiver. That's how he's in the NFL right now. Wouldn't this be a great story? Wouldn't this be a great story? It won't be. How do you learn? How do you learn protections? How do you learn audibles? How do you learn everything in less than 12 hours? I don't know what they're going to do, and they're not showing their hand, and they shouldn't. Whoever's getting the snaps needs to run for their life. You don't need anybody dropping back. I mean, Ronnie Brown made it happen against the Pats that one game. I don't know. I'm watching that game, though. Ratings are up. John Elway, ratings are going to be up. Listen, they could have forfeited and said, nah. But in this league, you can't do that. Especially if you're John Elway, who has 35 fourth-quarter comebacks. John Elway knows what it feels like and what it looks like when people say it's not going to happen. 35 times he said, I'm going to make it happen. So John Elway can't be the one to now tell the world that I don't think this is going to happen. This is the never say die dude. The drive. He's got the drive. But he's throwing out a dude that is not going to get it done. I'm sorry. This could be one of the worst losses in franchise history. We'll see, though. But I'm watching that game. Chiefs at the Bucks. The Bucks were just sitting pretty at 7-3, right? This is about to be their second straight loss. And now we're talking about, oh, Super Bowl favorites. Super Bowl dark horse. Playoffs? They'll be just trying to win a game. That's just me. I told you about the Packers on the road against a good defense last week when they lost to the Colts. Didn't I? Steelers versus the Ravens got moved Tuesday, which was part of that schedule shift from early season as well. Excited to see this game go down. Tuesday Night Football. What do y'all think about Tuesday Night Football? Glenn, what up? So if you're keeping score at home, I got 9 out of the 14 road teams winning today. Also big news, Santa Clara, California County is saying no contact sports. That's really tough for Pop Warner out there. But you know who else plays in Santa Clara County? The San Francisco 49ers of the NFL. So they cannot play there. And they cannot practice there. And if for some reason they found a way to, anybody that comes into the county, and after today they got 2 straight home games, anybody that comes in has to quarantine for 14 days. So they need to find a way to play somewhere else. Now think about Arizona, which goes back to what I was telling y'all about the division bubbles. All of the NFC West should have been playing in Phoenix. All of the NFC South should have been playing in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, these big cities have 4 facilities somewhere for people to practice. The NBA just did it. And the NFL's like, nah, we're good. But they're thinking about it for the playoffs. My goodness. It seems so simple. It just makes too much sense. This is your 5-minute warning. We're a little past 12:55. You have 5 minutes to get your pizza and wings situated. Although I'll make an exception this week to get your little leftover turkey and cranberry sauce. Get the whole sandwich going with the mashed potatoes. Get some corn on there with some gravy. Do what you do. This is your 5-minute warning. You got 5 minutes to pick and choose who you want on your fantasy team. If you got to do some last minute changes, you got 5 minutes to get in your picks for the designated report. Pick them. We put it up on the story. We put it up on the feed. And if you pick more winners than the DR team, you will win a prize. You have 5 minutes to submit that. And when you put it on your story, make sure you tag designated report and also hashtag designated report. You want that prize. 5-minute warning. Let me know next week what y'all trying to hear. Or else we can go with this pattern. Week 13. Let's hear music from 13 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all so much. I'm going to let you go and handle your business. Make all the changes you need to in your life. I mean small scale, 5-minute warning things, but also larger scale. Think about yourself. Don't just be thankful last Thursday. Those people you said you were thankful for, show them today on Sunday. Much love to everybody who's checked in. And make sure, oh, they're screaming for it. They're screaming for it. Yeah, Jalen Hurts got all of the first team reps this week. So on Monday Night Football, he probably will be your starting quarterback. Carson Wentz may not see the field again in a Philly uniform. I put that in there. I love y'all. We got less than 60 seconds, so I'm checking out. Come back every Sunday, 12:30 Eastern, right here on IG Live. This is the warm-up. Enjoy your Sundays. So much love.